A guest from the presidential suite stole my slippers in a hotel spa. So, this happened yesterday. I am staying in a mountain resort, in a 5-star hotel, and there is a beautiful spa with a mountain view. It's holiday season, so needless to say there is a lot of people. Recently, I bought myself some nice Brunello Cucinelli slippers which I now use to go to spas. A guest just walked away from the jacuzzi in my slippers, which I noticed after a few minutes. I asked the nearby staff person if they have seen them, and the guy answered that a person walked away in them. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then I noticed that there is no other slipper pair, only 2 of us were in a jacuzzi at the time, and it's less likely that somebody who walked without any would just put the pair on and go away. Staff guy asked me to wait a few minutes and went back somewhere. Turns out, they checked the spa cameras and it was a guest from the presidential suite. I did not want to make a hassle out of it, but I stumbled into this person who was in my slippers, and politely said that he might have walked out in my slippers. The answer literally made my eyes come out. He said, literally, "Why do you care that much? Greedy guy? They don't fit you and you don't deserve them anyways." Then after my very angry "excuse me?" the one you typically throw before punching someone, he just threw them off and rushed away, right in front of several staff members and guests. I had a friendly chat with a hotel manager who found me later in the evening. He said that sadly numerous stealing attempts like this happen regularly, but they don't take expensive things. A day before, a grown woman stole large ice cream dessert which was brought for a teenage girl while she was in a sauna. It costs less than $15. There are no poor people in this hotel. In season, which is winter and summer, a standard room typically costs above $500 night. Presidential suite is more than $5K. Imagine the entitlement of stealing slippers, even if pricey ones, right in front of staff and cameras. P.S. Sorry if it gets double posted, I had connection issues. Ew. Who would want someone else's slippers anyway? Gross gad. Some humans would steal Christ off the cross. Sounds like the hotel should just start adding charges to people's bills when they steal. Guessed, but I didn't use this. Hotel staff, no. But we have video evidence of you stealing it that we are happy to give to police if you don't pay for it. Since you got your slippers back, I hope you don't mind me saying the showdown was hilarious. It's a funny phenomenon that rich people like stealing. It's definitely a mix of being both entitled and having minimal challenges in their life. I knew some guys who were wealthy, but they were underage at the time and I had my driver, so I was their ride. We went clothing shopping once and the richest dude stole 2 pairs of jeans. He put them on under his pants while in the fitting room. Also stole some cash from me and burned my backseat with a cig. I guess just because they could and cause they didn't care. Rich people steal more than poor people because they think they deserve it or that they're entitled. As the title says, this is why we can't have nice things. It amazes me how rich people are just asshats to everyone. After the guy kicked them off, should have said loudly, "Now I have to clean these after that trash wore them," then walk away giving a wink at the staff. There are no poor people in this hotel. Yeah. Nah. Except the ones who work there and make it nice for you. I would have demanded the hotel ban that person from ever staying there again. That if they openly let someone stay who they know will steal others' property, then they would be as guilty. It was not a dessert but an expensive item and should be treated as such. Was gifted an all-expenses paid trip to an exotic location with a friend. Very generous. She wanted to go shopping. Her idea of shopping was to go in, steal and get out fast. When I caught on, I started finding nice shady trees to sit under while she did her shopping. Visited a small regional museum. Pretty sure she lifted items there too. She gave me a birthday gift once that I know was stolen. We aren't friends anymore. They have a saying. The rich are different. Yep, they sure are. Yeah, I'd throw punches over Bruno Cucinelli slippers as well. This is not a surprise at all. The title of this sub is entitled People. After all, it isn't a matter of whether they can afford the items they are taking. It is their feelings that they deserve to have whatever they want, whether it is theirs or not. My spouse is a nurse, and when someone brings candy to sell for their child's school, or pitches in for pizza delivery, the only people who take WO paying are doctors. It's not that they can't afford that chocolate bar, but that they think they deserve it due to their elevated status. Rich, well-off people steal for the thrill of it. My mom is a taken care of middle-class lady who could pay for every item she has stolen. But does it cause it gives her a high? Landed her dumbass in jail cause she flew too close to the sun at Target rolling on the floor laughing. This story is hilarious. I always wondered what it's like to be a person who can spend $1,000 on a pair of shoes, slippers, or spend $1,000s a night on a hotel room. Turns out it's a lot like living in the hood. This is where being a large man is great. When I stand very close to people and get loud, they tend to reassess their life decisions. Rich people will steal right in front of you without shame. Look at the economy banks. Phony crypto. I wonder what Bruno thinks of all this. I'm not surprised. When I worked in hotel logistics, most people found it shocking that the luxury 5-star had more of a theft problem than the hover mid-tier hotels. I hate to say it, as I know it's not always true, but a lot of rich people don't get nice by being nice or honest also. A lot of times it's not the adults but rather spoiled kids. Doesn't sound like it in this case. WTAF. I'm really sorry this happened. How could you steal someone's slippers and then get mad? And why would they think they don't fit you, lol? Weird people in this world. Rich people steal, that's how they become and stay rich. The very rich steal because there are no consequences if caught. I've often heard that rich people are far worse about things like this. Like the old honor box for coffee at work. It's always the C-levels who refuse to drop anything in. Used to work in a snack bar, in a pool club, in a high-end apt complex. Caught one of the customers walking off without end of summer tip jar. An older lady who had plenty of money. I wouldn't want to wear slippers that had been on someone else's feet even if they were mine to begin with. His response was exactly like the little boys that took my grandson's yellow goggles at the swimming pool yesterday, asked for them back and got a bizarre response. Then a rage throw in front of the lifeguard and others. Till that $350 pool slides and $395 flip-flops are a thing. That's entirely ridiculous. What do people with too much money spend it on? Gross. I'm done with the internet for today. Happiness is just a moment before you need more happiness. Don Draper per the Mad Men subreddit. Had to look up Brunello Cucinelli. Damn bro. I thought my G Nikes and Yeezys were expensive, lol. Rich dude woulda got that murder treatment for sliding his feet in my shit. That's pretty typical behavior from that group. I go to a health and fitness spa that cost minimum of $5,000 per week and they have this problem. I was in the gift shop one time and a woman walked out with $1,000 of merchandise without paying. Later the worker called as acted like they had forgotten to sign her receipt they only charged to room and the woman flipped out. Sometimes the wealthiest people are big-time kleptos. Maybe that's how they stay rich. Honestly, It's to be expected among the rich. They are often greedy and selfish people. They generally get rich by exploiting others. There are exceptions, but that's a stereotype that holds true in many cases. When my husband was a mailman, it was the wealthy people who never gave him a Christmas gift. On the other hand, poor people frequently gave him cookies or a $5 gift card or something. I would rather step on a rusty nail than put my bare feet in someone else's slippers. I would be forced to handle it physically after the thief's snide remarks. I was told in high school, by a kid who transferred from an elite private school to the public school, that rich people steal a lot for the thrill of it. The fact they don't need to do it is what makes it such an allure to them. The part that really gets me is the "you don't deserve them." The nerve of these people. They think that they are literally for real better people than anyone else. Rich people are rich because they're greedy pieces of shit who steal from others. Color me surprised. I'm sorry, but I grew up in hospitality and rich people are the weirdest, greediest people. I honestly believe most rich people grow up so sheltered they do this stuff to get some drama in their life and have no idea what consequences are. We stay at Disney resorts regularly. I like the mid-level resorts. Boardwalk is our favorite. I like the class of people there. Friendly and nice people stay there. We've stayed at the Grand Floridian. Not a fan at all. I absolutely hated Grand Californian. The people staying at these places feel entitled and better than everyone else. People are ridiculous and are never happy. If you're at a good resort, they'll take care of you in some way. Free dinner is the usual go-to as it doesn't hurt their budget money. It's really not much, but it usually makes me feel better when something horrible happens. Should also have told the guy that the reason you were wearing slippers was so that you wouldn't pass on your athlete's foot by walking barefoot on surfaces other people would also walk on. Barefoot. Till that you can buy slippers that cost more than I spend on groceries monthly. What I already knew is that rich people steal. The biggest of the billionaires are simply robber barons who aren't paying their fair share of taxes. The more money they have, the more than are corrupt. The difference is that some are more and some are less ethical. Like some lie to banks and inflate the value of their properties, while others are petty and take slippers. The wealthy are wealthy because they steal from everyone. That's what capitalism is. Perp in this case probably very unused to people calling them on their shit. They'll be first against the wall when the revolution comes. That is so messed up. I'm rich, but I'm going to steal your slippers because? And then he was rude to you? SMH. I just don't understand some people. Sorry about that. This whole story is just funny and odd. I am mad that they did not blacklist the person. And the sheer audacity to say you weren't wearing them right, so I took them. Who does for sharing, and the laughs it gave. Glad you have your slippers back. Like you have to lock up slippers at a luxury resort. Damn shame. Yo, fuck that. I'd call the cops and press charges against him. Make him pay for new slippers for you. Did you get them back? Seeing as it was on video, it's hard for the guy to claim he didn't do it. Maybe resort would look into more security if stealing is a problem. People versus won't want to stay there if they are losing their property. I think some celebrity said something like, no matter how rich they are, people will still steal your lighter and your phone charger. Rich people always be stealing. Why do you think they're weird with you around their stuff? Lol. I'm not saying that anyone deserves to be deprived of their property. But as we move up into the top 0.01, not one of items of value relative to what normal people can afford, my sense of outrage goes down and starts getting redirected. $1,000 slippers. Geesh. He's entitled for sure, but there are no poor people in this hotel? Come on, man. Lol, paying $500 for slippers. There are no poor people in this hotel. Excuse me, but that rubs me a little wrong when I come from a background of poverty. Very entitled thing to say. I mean, I'm sorry you got your slippers stolen, but obviously this sounds like rich people problems of. Never heard of this brand of shoe fashion before, but looking at their website, the cheapest slippers was $350, with many other slippers and shoes costing thousands of dollars. The fool who took your slippers is definitely entitled and a thief. But you are talking about some super expensive slippers you're rolling around in. Wow, you really struggle to write realistic sounding dialogue. Op. Did this happen in Grindelwald? That is what I am envisioning when I read it. Cold sweat smile. Ada, you said spa, so that means Malmendy eyes. Inside job at those types of places. I hope you got your slippers back. Seems very much in line with the wealthy ethos. Was he the first malignant narcissist who you've met? It reminds me of that line from the movie Crazy Rich Asians. No one loves free stuff more than rich people. This looks like a job for TikTok. Sounds like White Mountain Omni. I'm surprised a 5-star hotel didn't provide slippers. They typically do. Could be the guy that stole them simply thought they were complimentary and provided by the hotel. The hotel is also to blame. They clearly don't punish those who deserve it. XC. Just because one has wealth doesn't mean they aren't trash. Freudian sneaky thrills. I guess even the very wealthy get off on it. Face with rolling eyes. She probably didn't want to pay the several hundred they would cost, so just stole yours instead. Police. Insist on charging them. Someone tried to buy my shoes at TJ Maxx once. I had to chase her down to get them back. Face with rolling eyes. That person isn't paying for their room. It was either a gift or charged to someone else. People with real money don't need to steal used slippers. I'd file a police report. But I'm an asshole. I wouldn't want to wear my slippers after some nasty thief wore them, so they're ruined. They can catch a charge and I'll be suing in small claims court for the cost of a new pair. My daughter had some plant cuttings in a plastic cup of water at a fancy hotel where she takes care of the plants. A guest stole them. She had left them tucked away with some of her work tools while she was watering things around the pool. A staff member helped her find the thief on video, but they were not able to ID the person. Who does that? They were so obviously not up for grabs. Well, the rich and wealthy don't stay that way out of being completely morally good, you know. Next time, just wear my slippers by Mike Lindell. No one will steal them. ETA. Is it possible that this was one of those reverse entitlement scenarios where they assumed you are rich and entitled? I might be grasping straws here, but at first glance that's what my brain came up with. I worked security for a BMW rally. One night I caught a lady stealing water bottles from the closed snack bar. She got so high and mighty, "I'm a doctor, how dare you accuse me of stealing?" I was literally broke into a closed business to take else is that called? Lol, rich people are wild. So the hotel did nothing to the person who stole your slippers, even though they were caught on camera and you had to retrieve them yourself? I would be leaving some seriously bad reviews and also looking for some comps. That is ridiculous. Wow, that's insane. Googled the slippers. They are crazy expensive. I love me some nice shoes, but wow. Call the police and file a report. They can look at the hotel security footage. Hopefully they can talk to the asshole and get your slippers back. I don't think this person should be allowed to get away with it. He'll just continue to steal things from people. In a hotel like this, you should expect some compensation for this incident. Maybe not a free night, but perhaps a round of drinks at dinner or a complimentary spa treatment. You should ask. Any hotel this caliber will not hesitate. People's tendencies to steal is why it's crossed my mind to get my grandcat's used litter from my daughter and seal it into an Amazon box and leave it in the lobby of my apartment building. Or I could find someone with a baby and put dirty diapers in it. Or dead bugs. There's lots of sticky fingers around my apartment complex. I am dying to know which resort XD till a pair of slippers can cost $300. I am a poor rich person. Single-digit millionaire. I have exposure to the wealthy and really wealthy. I have realized that most of them are terrible people and many made their money by misrepresentation, cutting corners, being dishonest, taking advantage of others, etc. Majority are terrible people who constantly want to show off how they have it better than their friends. This behavior does not surprise me. Best thing I ever did is to reduce exposure to these people. Pleading face crying. Rich people generally make their money from exploiting people in one way or another. Their entitlement to other people's stuff is literally their ethos. You are a better person than I am. If that's me, I'll be in jail already, but that person will be in the hospital with a missing limb. €474 for a pair of that. Cold sweat smile rolling on the floor laughing. In Japan, slippers are provided at most hotel rooms if you're at a hotel spa. You generally switch in and out of hotel provided public slippers depending on the footwear etiquette of that exact space. Sometimes at restaurants, you leave your street shoes at the door and wear public slippers to your table. Did the guy look Japanese? He might have assumed they were hotel spa provided footwear. Congrats on not assaulting a man literally staring you in the eye and begging to be punched in the face. I would not have had that level of self-restraint. Edit. Wow. Just googled your slippers. If someone attempted to steal my slippers handcrafted by elves, woven from unicorn hairs and literal diamonds, that person would be negotiating the per diem for the presidential suite in hell. I hope you got them cleaned.